Hello, Michigan. Welcome to State Champs Michigan Extra Point. I am Ryan Slocum, joined by Scott Burnstein as we talk Michigan high school football all season long right here on the State Champs Network. This program is presented by Lawrence Technological University. You can recruit yourself by simply going to ltuathletics.com. Scotty, how you feeling this week, man?
Man, I couldn't be better. This is stretch run time. We're going to be handing out some championships soon, and this is the time when all the cash money players go from the bank vault to the trophy case, and these are the type of moments that really form, the great teams, the great players, the great runs, and I'm excited to see what teams kind of materialize and what teams kind of fall back, and what are the teams we're going to be remembering 5, 10, 20 years down the line. This is when those seeds are planted for the next 2 weeks of the regular season and then into the playoffs.
That's right, week 8, not too much longer to go to do some damage, and we will let you know what Bernie is burning on a little bit later. But first, here's the top games that State Champs covered last week. And we start in the Flint Metro League Stars Division matchup as Lake Fenton was at home taking on Goodrich. Lake Fenton jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but back comes Goodrich. With under 2 minutes to go, Gavin Hart hits Jace Williams for the 41-yard touch. Out of this world. Martians down 14-12. They go for 2 in the tie, but Hart is stopped by Jack Conley as Lake Fenton holds on to win 14-12 and also take home the Metro Stars Division title. Next to the Lakes Valley Conference, a pair of 3-3 teams going at it with Walled Lake Western taking on Waterford Mott. Western junior Darius Taylor had himself a night rushing for 4 scores 7 days ago. Mott hanging in, down 34-32 late, going for the game-tying 2-point conversion, but it is picked off. Noonan, Warriors sophomore Gavin Noonan with the takeaway. Western hangs on to win 34-32. They improve to 4-3 on this season. Let's move to the Macomb Area Conference Red Division matchup. Romeo on the road to take on Sterling Heights Stevenson. Defense setting the tone in this one. There was only 1 touchdown, and it was scored by the Bulldogs with 5 minutes to play. Romeo wins it 7-0. The Dogs now tied with Stevenson for first place in the MAC Red. Bragging rights on the line in the city of Troy as undefeated Troy took on Troy Athens. Jump to the late stages of this one. Troy down 2014. Maxwell Stromberg scores the short TD. The Colts remain unbeaten with a 21-20 win over their rivals from Athens. And to the KLAA East Division matchup, Dearborn Fordson taking on Livonia Churchill. The Tractors came in a game back of Churchill for first place in the East. The Mr. Football candidate and Michigan State commit Antonio Gates Jr. had 2 touchdown grabs in the first half, and Fordson went into the locker room leading 35-7. But undefeated Churchill does not give up. They make this a ball game. After the Chargers cut it to 38-33, Ryan Cannell is successful on his second onside kick in a row. So Churchill had a chance to win it, but the Tractor defense holds, and they hang on to win it 38-33, giving us a 3-way tie for first place in the KLAA East with Fordson, Belleville, and Churchill. All right, so let's bring Scott Burnstein back in for your thoughts on these games. And Bernie, Fordson clicking at the right time. Looks like we could see them face off against Cass Tech in the districts just a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, Fordson is having a great season. A lot of attention being paid to Antonio Gates Jr. For good reason, going to Michigan State, one of the best wide receivers in the Midwest. But who's the guy that's feeding him the football? who's dropping those sugar dimes right into the breadbasket? It's Alex Osman, looking really good for those Tractors, a name you need to look out for on the signal caller radar in terms of college recruiting. He'll be a steal, whoever nails him down. Moving over to the Lakes Valley Conference, Walled Lake Western, they're 4-3, but one of those losses is a forfeit. So in reality, they could be 5-2. This is a team that has a lot of talent at the quarterback position. Drew Vyodo, another summer camp superstar that's getting his first action at the varsity level. He's got a ton of Division I offers. But the name that you need to know about right now is Darius Taylor. He's only a junior. They moved him from, he was a slot receiver last year. Then this year he became a split end at the start of the season. They moved him to running back. He's looking really good. It was like you took CeeDee Lamb and you turned him into Ezekiel Elliott with Darius Taylor, 4 touchdowns. That's a game to remember. Western is a team that I think will be very dangerous when you hit the playoffs. Will be a team that's a lot better than their record, will be a tough out. When you're talking about Romeo and Stevenson playing for a championship, just the epitome of grit and blood, sweat, and tears. These two defensive units going at it, standing in the center of the ring like a heavyweight championship battle and just slugging it out. Hats off to Coach Reynes and the Bulldogs getting that title. That Romeo football team is just all about fearlessness and feistiness. And I love what I saw from them last year in the districts, and took a tough loss to West Bloomfield in the regionals. But that loss will pay dividends coming into the playoffs this year. And then finishing off with Troy and Troy Athens. Hats off to Max Stromberg, senior quarterback. Troy is kind of coming back from the dead. That was a program that was a glamour program for a long time, and then it's been kind of dormant since Griff left. Coach Frazier's come in and has breathed a lot of life into that program. Max Stromberg, and then the guy you need to look out at Troy is junior Darius Whiteside, the best college recruit in the OAA Blue, 6'2", prototype split end, playing really good football, making some circus catches this season. Great job by the Troy Colts. Love what I'm seeing from a lot of great teams in Metro Detroit and really the whole entire MHSAA this fall.
This program is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Officials are in need and invite you to check out becoming an official. Great part-time pay. Stay in the game. We have a shortage. Go to MHSAA.com for the details. Help wanted. Just whistle. I also invite you to listen to the Extra Point Companion audio podcast, where you will get full-length interviews with coaches, newsmakers, and pundits in the high school football scene. You can listen to the Extra Point Companion podcast along with our ranking segment with State Champs' own Matt Mowry. Head over to Spreaker.com and search State Champs Sports. We also want to thank our good friends at Hungry Howie's for all the work they have done fighting breast cancer through their Love, Hope, and Pizza campaign all October long. Every pizza sold in the pink box sees Hungry Howie's make a contribution to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. We also welcome back the physical therapy and sports medicine pros with the Detroit Medical Center. They have a new Game Changers segment this week, and you can check it out now on our social media channels, our State Champs TV YouTube page as well. It's now time for the most fire segment of the show. It is time to find out what Bernie is burning on this week.
I can get fired up, but I bring the fire. I bring a flamethrower every episode. But I love talking high school football. It gets me fired up. This week, I want to talk about the marvels of the gridiron in Madison Heights. Normally, over the past decade plus, the talk of the town has always been the Madison Heights Madison Eagles, a couple trips to Ford Field, gaudy records every regular season. But now, the last couple years, things are changing, the tide is turning, and now it's all about the Bishop Foley Ventures and the Lamphere Rams. Both Lamphere and Bishop Foley are 6-1, playing outstanding football. Bishop Foley, Coach Brian Barnes has his team punching a ticket to the Catholic League Finals for the first time in 16 years, looking for their first ever Catholic League crown. They're 0-3 in the finals. Hopefully this season could be the year they turn it all around and get that Catholic League championship trophy for the mantle, and they have a ton of playmakers. It all starts with the fearless field general, Dylan Goth. He is on fire this fall. His team's averaging 40 points a game. He is just, stretching the field like a true superstar, someone that is making all the throws. He's doing it with his mind. He's checking all the boxes. Everything you want in a star quarterback, you're getting from Dylan Goth. When you go to the running back position, they got Jackson Zeiter. He's the Catholic League's own version of Dylan McCaffrey. He does everything. Has already rushed for about 800 yards. He's caught about 300, 400 yards of receiving yards. Just a kid that can do everything and do it well. At a wide receiver position, you got Adam Kidder, one of the best wide receivers at the small school level in the state of Michigan. On defense, you got James Braswell, who is just a menace, sideline to sideline, big motor, big hitter, and just, good luck to Bishop Foley going for that championship. Now let's talk about Madison Heights Lamphere, a team that was really a non-factor for a long time, but their programs come roaring back, and they've done it by overcoming adversity. 3 coaches in the last 5 years, nonetheless, 3 championships, 3 league titles in the last 5 years. This year, Ray Ostrovsky's come over from St. Clair Shores Lakeshore, where he was the DC. He's an alum of Lakeshore. He's come over, taken over for Art Massano, who retired. They were undefeated in the regular season last year. This year, they just clinched the MAC bronze last week, and they're clicking on all cylinders. Nick Christich at quarterback, he's a third-year starter. Just, you don't get more consistent, more steady in the pocket than Christich in that league. Then you got the Latin lightning bolt at running back. Nico Hernandez, he is lightning in a bottle. 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns last season. This year, he's on the verge of going over 1,000. I think he needs 50 yards in week 8. He'll go over 1,000. He already has 14 touchdowns. Throwing the ball to Aiden Robinette and Samaj Ramsey. Ramsey is a basketball star that already has a couple Division I offers. He's breaking out as a wide receiver this year. Aiden Robinette has been the big play receiver for Christich. Tristan Gist doing it on both sides of the ball as a tight end. He's catching touchdown passes. I think he's got 5. And then as an outside linebacker, he has 5 pick sixes. So they're being a very opportunistic defense led by Gist. So Lamphere playing some great football under Coach Ostrowski. It's, everything's coming up roses in Madison Heights with football when it comes to Lamphere and the Ventures. They've already raised 2 banners. There could be more banners coming down the pike in the next couple weeks.
The Latin Lightning Bolt.
The Latin Lightning Bolt. Nico Hernandez. This guy's got moves. He's, he can run for power. He can run for speed. He makes it around the edge, can beat guys to the corner. Nico Hernandez is just, he's got my heart, man.
I don't know if there's anything more fire than the Latin Lightning Bolt. I love it. We will leave you this week with a preview of some of the top games that we will be covering right here on State Champs. We will start with the Tri-Valley Conference. Frankenmuth is at home taking on Essexville Garber in a Central Division matchup. Next, we go to the Saginaw Valley League. Look here, winners of 6 straight. They go on the road as well to take on undefeated Grand Blanc. 4th-ranked Warren De La Salle facing a tough non-conference matchup as they take on Harper Woods, led by our Mr. Football candidate, Christian Stokes. This game will be played at Wayne State. Chelsea, one of the top-ranked teams in Division IV, they're at home this week to take on 5-2 St. Joseph. And finally, it's part 2 of the Detroit King Detroit Aztec rivalry. This time, they meet for the city championship. And Scott, we bring you back. What about these matchups intrigue you?
Well, 2 really pop out at me. First, an intriguing out-of-conference matchup between Warren De La Salle and Harper Woods. Harper Woods is a team that's playing really well right now. Coach Oden came over from the PSL a couple years ago and has got that Harper Woods football program, kind of moving at a pace that really I can't ever remember Harper Woods playing this style and playing this well. Vinny Booth, a quarterback that you should know about, really like what he's doing with that offense. And then obviously DLS, they're the class of the Catholic League. Coach Ron just has done an amazing job coming over from the west side of the state and upping the ante even more for that program. So that should be a really exciting matchup. And then Cass and King, outside of Rice and Catholic Central, to me, Cass and King is the best rivalry in the state. Definitely in Metro Detroit when you scratch beneath the surface of Rice and Catholic Central. Between Cass and King this weekend, you'll have 24 Division I prospects on the field. You're going to have a ton of guys that are going to be playing on Saturday, and I can guarantee you a handful of those guys in about 5 years will be playing on Sunday too. So, grab your popcorn and go out and check that game out. It should be exciting.
Yeah, it was a great one the first time they met. King getting the win in that one, and they hold on to our #1 ranking in this state. For Scott, I am Ryan. We'll see you next week, and best of luck to all the teams this weekend.
State Champs Extra Point, presented by Lawrence Technological University and Lawrence Tech Athletics. For everything LTU, visit ltu.edu. You can recruit yourself to any of Lawrence Tech's collegiate athletic teams by visiting ltuathletics.com. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor.